Hello, fight fans. Seattle Mike of MMA with Friends. Guys, if you like everything fighting, boxing, UFC, MMA, Bellator, and you like being up to date on all of that stuff, make sure you hit that like button and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. If you don't like anything about fighting, you just like lies, you don't want to know the truth, then go ahead and check out something else, I guess. But I think you guys really will be interested in the breaking news in the UFC right now. Of course, concerns over the coronavirus sweeping not just the United States, but the world. We talked about just earlier today on a stream that UFC London was still scheduled with a crowd. This was while we watched UFC Brazil without a crowd. Very strange thing there. I speculated, many of us speculated that that would not go off in London. Earlier today, London came out with an update of 1,100 corona cases, also many deaths. New travel bans in London, and just like we said, this is canceled. If you have tickets, if you're in London for that event, I'm sure you already know, no venues there, but be waiting for your refunds. If you have any questions about refunds, I gotta get a refund from the Portland event, so I'll let you know what I know as far as plane tickets and travel accommodations. I wasn't treated as friendly as far as that's concerned with United Airlines and some tickets that I bought recently. No refunds as far as that was concerned, but credits were offered in their defense. So Woodley versus Edwards. So where does it go to? We've been told the whole time, it's going to go to the Las Vegas Apex Institute. Correct? Incorrect. Just as of a couple hours ago. So UFC Portland coming up on April 11th. UFC Columbus, they're in Columbus, Ohio. We're supposed to be in Columbus, Ohio for the first time in 11 years. That venue is now to be determined for March 28th. The Las Vegas and Nevada State Athletic Commission made it very clear that their meeting on March 25th is not to bring back these MMA events. In fact, this event won't even be scheduled for that event. So this event is now without a venue. Then you move along to UFC Portland, which I had tickets to. Venue to be determined as well. Where will these be held at? I'm going to get to that in a minute because we have some breaking news, breaking statement from Dana White within just the last little over an hour ago. But unfortunately, I have one more card to talk about. Not one that a lot of people are probably going to want to talk about. But of course, that is Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson. Here it is from Twitter from Mark Ramundi. Says Dana White on SportsCenter. UFC London moving elsewhere. No venue yet. March 28th and April 11th cards will no longer be in Las Vegas. No venues have been set as of yet. Khabib versus Tony Ferguson will not be in Brooklyn or Vegas. There is no venue. Dana White has vowed the fights will go on unless the country is in total shutdown. You see the timestamp on that tweet just about 3 hours from the making of this video, just about 3 hours ago. Guys, I don't know how many of these events are going to go off. Dana White is really working to try to get these going. The UFC is trying to get all these going. Should all these events be going? Should we be trying to throw all these events in the middle of this crisis? Should the UFC London card be scrapped? Should they be showing venues empty? with 100 people in there just watching on TV? And are we putting fighters? Is UFC putting the fighters at an unnecessary and unacceptable risk? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves. We have to look for the answers as fans, as media, as advocates of this sport. I have my own opinions. Right now, it looks like the UFC they're taking a lot of precautions. We talked about on an earlier video about scanning systems as fighters and employees walk into buildings. It will automatically take their temperature. If they have a temperature, if they have certain kind of symptoms, then they will be pulled aside to tested and be looked at to be pulled out of the event, whether it be a UFC employee or be a UFC fighter. This is via Dana White and the UFC. Stick with MMA with Friends for breaking news, guys. More updates. I will try to keep you guys updated as this just gets crazier and crazier. I want to see fights, so that's what I do. I commentate on fights. I react to fights. I hope you guys enjoy what I do here, guys. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.